My name is Tricia Worrell, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here today to Radical Forgiveness, West Michigan's third annual Restorative Justice Conference. My first involvement with this conference was 3 years ago when I received a phone call from Dr. Jared Ortiz from the Saint Benedict Institute. He called my office and spoke with me. I'm the program director here for the Prison and Jail Ministry for the Diocese. And during that conversation, Jared informed me that I would be receiving a letter from a man by the name of Eric Boldazar. He went on to share with me that Eric is incarcerated at Richard A. Handlon Correctional Facility, otherwise known as MTU. Many of us refer to it as MTU, and I'll refer it as such throughout the day. Jared also told me during that conversation that Eric attended our weekly Catholic services, but was also a student of the Calvin Prison Initiative. And so that letter was an invitation for me to be a panelist on their Restorative Justice Conference that Saint Benedict Institute was sponsoring on the campus of Hope College. And so that first conference was held in March of 2017 at Hope. The second followed on the campus of Calvin University. And this year, we accepted the students' offer to partner with them to host this conference. So here we are today. We're very grateful and excited to have this opportunity. However, I do want to say a quick thank you to our program assistant, Elizabeth Klein, because without all of her extra work and on top of an already very full plate, we would have not been able to make this day possible. So thank you, Elizabeth, for all your hard work. During my initial meetings with the CPI students, we sat down and we discussed really the reasons for this conference and what was their purpose. Why did they want to hold conferences like this? And I really challenged them to capitalize on this opportunity of having very like-minded people together in one room, but people with very different backgrounds and very different skill sets. Because it's wonderful that we are all here today. If we look around, we'll see individuals from all walks coming together to really invest in something they believe in. But if we leave here today and nothing changes, we have to keep asking ourselves, what is the purpose of holding conferences like this? So during those meetings, I challenged them to really put together a conference that ignites action and promotes change. A change that we can all agree will be healing and healthy for our criminal justice system and for our communities. So they kind of accepted that challenge. They worked very hard and put together a very well-organized conference today. I'm very excited for you to see everything that they have planned for us, and the students really are the facilitators of this conference. My role is going to be very, very limited today. We have pre-recorded their introduction, their panel discussion, their closing remarks, their introduction to our keynote speaker. So they really are the facilitators, the planners, and the organizers of this conference. They even completely designed our conference program, which I was in at MTU yesterday with our keynote, Kate, who graciously spent 2 hours with the men, sharing her journey, answering questions, signing the books that they had of hers. It was a beautiful time that we were able to spend with them. And they were saying yesterday how they were very proud of the programs that they put together. There's a lot of creativity in that group, and they worked very hard to create a program that would not only provide us the outline for today, but have something that you can walk away with that has information on it as well. So we do have their pre-recorded welcome, but before I play Eric's welcome and introduction, I'm going to introduce Dr. Todd Chaffee from the Calvin Prison Initiative to share a few words with us.
Good morning. So my name is Todd Chaffee. I'm the director of the Calvin Prison Initiative, and I can't believe we're here this morning because it seemed like a couple of years ago when we had our first conference, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how many people would come. I'm told that normally, through the Benedict Institute, their yearly educational conference draws about 50 people, and that year we had almost 350 people. So it's very exciting, and we didn't know what the future, though, would be of conferences. It was also interesting that I remember Professor Jared Ortiz said as he provided opening remarks that it took a Catholic to bring two Protestant schools together. As you know, Hope and Calvin are often at each other a bit, historically and even now. But there we were, Hope and Calvin, and one thing that came out of that conference is that now Hope College and Western Seminary are starting a program in a Muskegon prison. So in terms of what to expect, who knows? But here we are now with another set of schools going into another prison, offering courses, and we hope someday now a BA as well. And it feels like we're really at the edge of something special and something great. There are more and more efforts, more and more interest to offer higher educational opportunities in Michigan's prisons. And so what to expect going forward, where will we be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? I think we'll be at amazing places. And then as mentioned before, as I like to say, the Calvin Prison Initiative is a special program. We are all blessed who are part of it. But that program is really about the students. It is about those men at MTU who work hard and harder and harder and put the time in and do the things that are expected of them and even go beyond that, that make that program successful. I want to tell one thing here to indicate that. Years ago, MTU was known as Gladiator School. They used to easily have 150 to 175 major violations a year, violent activity. In 2018, the warden told me, Dwayne Burton, that MTU had 8 major violations. Now, I can't claim that Calvin is the sole reason for that, but it's part of it. And so now, an administrator at MTU just this past week said to me that we've gone from Gladiator School to Candyland. And if we can see that happen at every prison in Michigan, we'll see a miracle. And it's because of the men who are willing to hear God's call, study hard, engage in programs, do the right thing. They are the agents of change in these prisons. And so I am proud of the CPI students. I am grateful for all of you who have been able to make these sort of events possible. And I'm so excited about what God's going to be doing in the future. So thank you for coming, and thanks for your support.
The theme for this year's conference is radical forgiveness. Forgiveness liberates one from painful past to a fresh future. Forgiveness transforms lives as hope, happiness, and peace take the place of shame, anger, and fear as relationships are restored. Forgiveness breaks the bonds of shame, anger, and fear. Forgiveness brings us back from the depths of despair and makes us alive again. We were lost, and now we are found. Forgiveness allows us to see ourselves and others not only as sinners, but also as one redeemed by Christ. In 1981, St. Pope John Paul II entered a prison between Ionia, the man who tried to assassinate him. The Pope embraced Ali and spoke words of forgiveness to him. In a world filled with hate, anger, and retribution, Pope John Paul II gave us an unforgettable image of love, forgiveness, and restoration. Later, the Pope stated, "I was able to meet my assailant and repeat to him the pardon I gave him immediately. The Lord gave us the grace to meet as men and brothers, because all the events of our lives must confirm that God is our Father and all of us are His children in Jesus Christ. And thus, all of us are brothers." In forgiving Ali, John Paul gave us a visual and verbal testimony to the transforming power of forgiveness through victim-offender dialogue. Moreover, his example is a call for us to make such reconciliation possible for all who desire it. I would like to thank Trisha Worrell and the Catholic Diocese of Grand Rapids for picking up and carrying the mantle of this year's conference, along with Jared Ortiz and Saint Benedict Institute, Calvin University, Warden Burton, and all the other people who have made this conference possible and who have supported us through these endeavors. And I'd also like to thank all of you who have attended these conferences. But I'd also like to encourage you guys to make this conference different, to not just be passive listeners, to go home and not do anything. We can't do this alone. We need you to help us make the step for reconciliation and forgiveness. Sometimes it can be a hard road and discouraging. Sometimes we don't make progress and we don't see the fruits of our labor. But I'd like to read you something that Desmond Tutu told to a group of Irish workers for reconciliation in Belfast. He told them, "I said to them that nothing is ever lost, that their work did not evaporate into the ether and disappear into oblivion, even if it appeared failure. No, in a way that we could not fathom, their work went to impregnate the atmosphere. I told those dedicated workers for peace and reconciliation that they should not be tempted to give up on their crucial work because of the frustrations of seemingly not making any significant progress. That, in our experience, nothing was wasted. For in the fullness of time, when the time is right, it would all come together, and those looking back would realize what a crucial contribution they had made. Each and every one of you today has a critical contribution to make to the future of forgiveness. So I encourage each of you to experience the transformative power of forgiveness, engage others through the lens of forgiveness, and endeavor to make forgiveness possible for all the souls who thirst for it. May God increase our faith and courage and grant us the grace to live out forgiveness into the future."
Let's just clap.